a trifold matchbook folder. This is what we're going to be making today on day 18 of Contagious Creativity, or Dreamers into Doers 2020. Isn't that cute? I love this. There are so many surfaces to decorate and so many things to play with on this one. And I have created a little printable template for you that you can print out and follow along with me. But this is just so many possibilities in this little folder. And I don't know where I saw this. I saw this, several months ago, and I have made one of these or several versions of these for several of my books that I've made in the past year. So I think this is fun. It's standalone. It makes a cute card. It even makes a really cute, you could make it and put a gift card in it. So there's so many possibilities with this. Let me lay this aside and show you what we want to do here. We need a scoring board. That's very important to get this the way you are going to want it. And all of these measurements will be on your printable. I haven't quite got the printable made yet. I found some things I was going to do when I was teaching this or practice teaching this. So it will be available later today for you. And I will show you how to do that on my CRESTIVA page on Facebook. So we want to score at the 1-inch line. I hope I can get this done without getting my head in the way. We want to score at the 4.5-inch line. And we want to score at the 8-inch line. That's all the scores for this direction. Then we want to turn it on the long side of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and score at the 1/8 inch line. Score at the 2 5/8 inch line. Score at the, let me make sure I'm on the right one, the 2 7/8 line. And I already had this folded, so I'm having a little messy time here. Sorry about that. And then you will want to score at the 5 5/8. Oops. And 5 7/8. And again at the 8 3/8 mark. I'm having all kinds of difficulty teaching this scoring stuff today. Sorry about that. Then we're going to cut it. And we're going to cut it at those two lines, the 2 5/8 and the 2 7/8. We're going to trim down to this point right here. This stays together. The bottom part does not get cut. Just these in here. So we're going to trim the 1/8 inch, the 2 5/8, 2 7/8, 5 5/8, 5 7/8, and the 8 3/8. And I'm going to go ahead, I cut some of those already, and go ahead and trim this. And if I get a little wonky here, I apologize, but trying to do this on camera is not really easy. it'll be easier for you when you trim it in your studios. So we can go ahead and put our trimmer and our scoring board away, and then go ahead and fold these and make sure you burnish the creases really well. And I would suggest, just my suggestion, is that you make this out of a fairly heavy piece of cardstock. The one I made, the sample I made, was made out of a little thinner piece of cardstock, and it tore at several of the points. So I had to reinforce it with some washi tape, which is okay, no problem with that, but it is a little bit annoying for you to have to do that, because that's just another step. And so just make sure you burnish all of these down well. And there's 2 or 3 options here to sew your matchbook. To finish the bottom part of your matchbook. You can sew on these edges, or you can tape like I did here around both ends of it, and that gives you plenty of tucking space, which is good because this is going to be tucked and untucked numerous times. Hopefully that the book will be loved enough to be tucked and untucked a lot. And so what else do I want to tell you about this? I want you to go ahead and get this part of it made, and you can make it out of scrapbook papers if you want. You can paint a piece of paper if you like, because we've already been over painting. And you know, you can finish it. You could collage it before you did this, but I think we're going to collage. Next week is going to be finishing this lovely little book that I have here and showing you all those principles. Go ahead and get this part done, and again, I'm going to have the printable, and I will have a link to that on CRESTIVA's Facebook page. One thing I want you to know is that depending on your printer, let me let you see this, it's easier on this side. Depending on their printer, there will be just a tiny bit of space around the edges that won't print. The printable has the lines to the edges, but I think it will still help you, because it's not too much on mine, but it will still help you get the proportions correctly when you're folding it. That's the first thing you want to do, is fold it. So, let me fold this little puppy up. And it's important to get things straight. As you can see here, this kind of is a little wonky because I was doing it with my arms held out away from me instead of with my head right over the top of it. So I will fix that before we come back on Mondays. And I will be back tomorrow for a nice little talk on my Sunday confessions. Don't miss it. It's going to be about participation trophies. I think you're going to like that. So I will see you again. We're finished with day 18. Have fun with folding this little book, and I will see you tomorrow. May joy be with you all.